So welcome again. Now we are going to discuss issues related to rice wheat cropping system, constraints and solution. So in nutshell, you can see the dominant cropping systems in the India. Rice wheat is the dominant cropping system, occupying 10.5 million hectare of land in the country. Next is rice, cotton wheat, soybean wheat. These are major cropping system in the country. Rice wheat cropping system occupies 13.5 million hectare in the area in the world and 10.5 million hectare area in India. You can remember this value, and they are very, very important for food security of the country. On an average, more than 75% or 3/4 of the food is coming from rice and wheat crop. Rice on an average contribute about 40% and wheat contribute 36% to the food security. Food grain production means production of cereals, millets plus pulses. And also Indo-Gangetic Plain contribute the most, nearly 42% to the total food grain production with the rice-based cropping system. And rice wheat cropping system provides job to millions of people in India. What are the major issues? Decline in factor productivity. Factor, you understand, factor of production, some are your natural factors which are given by nature to us, like water, your land, and also some artificial factors, and their productivity is going down. Water shortage is happening, and some soil fertility issues are there, and labor shortage. So these are four important issues which are concerned with the sustainability of rice wheat cropping system. So what are the key problems? So one is soil fertility problems, decline in organic matter and negative balance of macro micronutrients, over exploitation of groundwater, particularly in Punjab and Haryana, where every year about 60 centimeter depletion of groundwater is there in 1 year. Increase energy cost of pumping water because your water table is going down and down. So you need more power to extract the water from the deeper water table. Deterioration of groundwater quality, some salinity is happening, salinity, and also some pollution is happening because of continuous use of heavy doses of pesticides, fertilizer, and so on. You are getting groundwater polluted with the pesticides, and nitrate pollution can be there. Increased salinity is happening. Herbicide resistance is coming up in certain weeds. Poor management of crop residues are burnt. Decreased total factor productivity, partial factor productivity, and increased cost of cultivation. As a student, if you are asked what are the problems in rice wheat cropping system, you can discuss this list. And you can see these are the areas, Indo-Gangetic Plain area, where rice wheat cropping system is quite common, 10.5 million hectare. You can see distribution in Indo-Gangetic Plains. This is IGP, Trans-Gangetic Plain, which falls in Pakistan. We start from here. Trans-Gangetic Plain, it is in Indian Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, and Haryana. This particular area is called as Trans-Gangetic Plains. You can see the characteristics and crop rotations in this area. And now Upper Gangetic Plain, it is composed of Haryana, parts of Haryana, Western and Central UP, and Tarai regions of India and Nepal, Upper Gangetic Plains. So some characteristics are mentioned here: climate, physical feature, and cropping systems. Similarly, Middle Gangetic Plains, it is Eastern UP, Bihar, and eastern parts of Nepal, Middle Gangetic Plains. So characteristics are mentioned here. And Lower Gangetic Plains, you can see it is in West Bengal and Bangladesh. So you can see this Trans-Gangetic Plain, Upper Gangetic Plain, Middle Gangetic Plain, and Lower Gangetic Plain. So it is divided into four with respect to rice wheat cropping system. So you can see there are a number of problems associated with rice wheat cropping system in different Indo-Gangetic Plain zones. Out of four, in one you will have more problem of water scarcity. In other, you can have excess of water. So these kind of problems are region specific. So you can see, you can find differences. For example, water, shortage of good quality water in IGP1, that is your transgangetic zone. IGP 1 and 2, shortage of water. IGP 3, shortage of irrigation water, shortage of water. But in IG5, in Bengal, West Bengal and Bangladesh, you have waterlogging. Likewise, you can find some soil, fertilizer, crop management, climate, and labor related constraints are there. So you can remember these are the constraints and they are different in different zones. Similarly, you can see this organic carbon content. Organic carbon content is higher in lower Gangetic plains, that is in West Bengal. However, it is lower in upper Gangetic and middle Gangetic plains. Coming to the phosphorus, available phosphorus is more in middle Gangetic plains, and your available potassium is more in lower Gangetic plains. So you can see the nutrient levels are also different in different areas of the Gangetic plains. So common problems in Indo-Gangetic plains already discussed. What are the options? Options are, there are two options. You have seen that under such circumstances, there are many constraints, there are many problems, constraint related to water, energy, labor, your soil, and so on. Variety of constraints are there, factor productivity is going down. What are the options? What can we do for rice wheat cropping system? There are two options. One is sustaining the existing rice wheat cropping system. Okay, we cannot remove this system. We have to depend upon this system. Then we need to sustain this. How can we sustain this system? Or other alternative is to change the system, to rotate the system or to diversify the system. So there are two options. And if we see sustain the existing rice wheat cropping system, how can we sustain it? So we can adopt certain resource conserving technologies like zero tillage, minimum tillage in wheat, dry direct seeded rice, laser land leveling, etc. can be practiced in existing rice wheat system so that it can be sustained. Adding pulses, pulses can be added in the rotation so that fertility is improved, income of the farmer is also improved. Better water and nutrient management practices, good nutrient management practices can be adopted. INM can be adopted, green manuring can be adopted, and balanced fertilization is also important, and integrated weed management, IPM. So these are the methods or techniques by which we can sustain the rice wheat cropping system. Now, other option is let us all together change this system. Let us partly diversify this system. Let us change the rice crop only. Let us change the wheat crop only in the rotation, or let us change both the crops. There can be 2-3 options. One option is change the rice. Second is change the wheat, keep the rice. And third option, change the both, remove both crops. So people have done a lot of work and lot of rotations have been suggested, like rice chickpea can be adopted, rice wheat gram. So they are very location specific crop rotation, but maize, wheat, onion is the most remunerative and most recommended rotation for diversification of rice wheat cropping system. Maize, potato, onion. Now you see, this is how you can browse the slides. I will send you this PowerPoint. Different rotations have been recommended even for district in Punjab. Because Punjab want to diversify rice wheat system mainly because of shortage of water and shortage of labor. These are two important issues. And third is depleting soil fertility. Depleting groundwater is related to shortage of water. So district-wise also, crops have been identified for Punjab and also for Haryana. So there are a number of advantages of diversification. Reduces water requirement, improves soil fertility and organic matter in soil, reduces weeds, reduces insect pest disease. So there are a number of advantages of crop diversification with respect to soil health, environment, and farmers' income. All are improved. So you can remember this role of crop diversification. And this completes this presentation. Now you can ask me questions related to rice wheat system. Just we have 2-3 minutes or 6 minutes are there. So you can discuss questions related to rice wheat cropping system. Any question related to, so this is in a nutshell. Sometimes you can get a short question on this. What is the scope of rice wheat cropping system? What are the constraints of rice wheat cropping system and how to overcome these constraints. So that can be questioned. So you can give the data, you can tell the scope, the different areas of where it is adopted, and tell the role of this cropping system in food security of the country. And you can say some sustainability issues, what are the sustainability issues, and then solutions. If you know the constraint, you can reverse the gear. You can tell the solutions also. But broadly speaking, you can suggest suggestion in this sense: sustaining the existing rice wheat cropping system or diversification of the rice wheat cropping system. These are the two options for rice wheat cropping system to overcome the constraints. So this is the time to have discussion on rice wheat system. Yeah, Dipasha Das, any question? Are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any question? ध्यान आपने सुना भी है?
Sir, in rice wheat cropping system, conservation agriculture is followed.
Yeah, actually, for sustainability of rice wheat cropping system, because it is backbone of our food security. First thing is. Second thing is that rice, the soil fertility is declining. I could not go into the details, but you have seen the many micronutrient deficiencies are coming up. Nutrient imbalance is there. In Indo-Gangetic plains, farmers have used excess doses of phosphorus. Now, in many soils in Indo-Gangetic plains, there is excess accumulation of phosphorus. So imbalanced nutrition is happening because of DAP there. And also there are issues related to soil erosion and your availability of water. So we need technology which can conserve the soil, which can diversify the system, and also which can use less water. So in this case, there are certain conservation agriculture practices like one is laser land leveling. Other day I talked about laser land leveling sometimes for saving the water. That is important. That is also CA practice. And other is direct seeded rice. So direct seeded rice can be practiced under conservation. I have shown you in straw management that how sowing can be done in paddy straw. So that is a conservation agriculture practice. Without plowing, the happy seeder can directly do the sowing. So that is also to sustain the rice wheat system. To sustain the productivity, we can go for conservation agriculture. It is old practice to go for zero tillage in rice wheat system. Rice can be cultivated by conventional farming, but wheat can be cultivated by zero tillage method. So there is very good scope of conservation agriculture in rice wheat system. We can sustain this system with the help of conservation agriculture practices, especially DSR, bed planting, your furb also, we can go for furb, and also your mulching is done there, direct seeding is done and without tillage. And also in CA also you go for crop rotations. Brown manuring is a practice that is adopted in conservation agriculture. In direct seeded rice, you can go for brown manuring. So does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Any other question?
Thank you, sir.
1 minute,
Sir,
50, yeah.
does Western UP has soil erosion problem?
Soil erosion problems are everywhere. Soil erosion problems are everywhere, wherever we don't have cover. So we need to understand factors, because there also you get floods. Now, a lot of rivers from Himalaya come to Western UP. They come to many districts in Western UP, and you know, they can wash your soil. So soil erosion is very, very common everywhere. It is not Western or Eastern UP. It is quite common everywhere. Wherever, suppose you have plowed the land, you are doing excess plowing you are doing. So, and then suddenly there is rainfall or runoff happens or some winds come, so they can take away your soil. So soils are getting silently eroded everywhere.
Thank you, sir.
1 minute. So, okay, thank you very much. Have a, meet you tomorrow. Bye for now. I take your
Thank you,
attendance from computer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.